Welcome back. This is some more Shivah, or I don't know however you pronounce it, but as we left off last time, we're going to go ahead and interrogate Mrs Lauder and see what we can find out. So we're going to go back in. Bing bong! Don't know what the fuck happened to my voice there. But she's coming to the door, and hopefully we can beat some sense into this woman. Give her the back of our hand. Ah, yes.
Mrs Lauder.
Oh, it's you. Come on in.
Okay, so we need to ask about a few things. Let's ask about the murder itself. I guess that's a good starting point. Ask about the murder.
How did Jack die?
He was shot right in the head at close range, according to the police.
I'm sorry, Mrs Lauder.
He was in the showroom, working late. That's all I know.
Okay, ask about the mirror.
You've covered up the mirror.
Yes, it's what you are supposed to do, right?
Well, yes, but...
I know. I'm not Jewish. I'm probably doing it all wrong, but it feels right. Is it right, Rabbi?
Okay, I'm gonna be nice here. He's had a bit of a rocky past, and I don't know if it is right or wrong, but let's just give a confirming response and be a good human being instead of, fucking up. So, comforting response.
It's perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, so, let's see. Ask about her business.
What business was your husband in?
We were in business together. Fashion design, high-end casual wear, shirts, blouses, slacks. I'd design and he'd sell.
Okay, so we've got a few options here. Let's ask about the state of the business. So this is like how the business is doing and whatnot. So let's interrogate her further, and this is a long dialogue section.
Was the business successful?
We did all right. It was tough at first, but things have been picking up over the last few years. We sell to mainly boutique stores, but Macy's has bought several pieces from us, and Saks was interested.
Okay, so let's ask about the future of the business. Where is your business going, you stupid bitch?
And what happens to the business now? Are you going to run it by yourself?
I guess I could, but not right away. And definitely not in that same showroom.
I can understand that.
Don't want to work where your husband was shot and killed. Whereabouts is your business? Because we're going to need to go there, so it's probably a good idea to ask her where it is.
Where is your showroom?
Why? Do you want to have a look?
It can't hurt.
Oh, this is crazy. Do you really want to do this?
Yes.
Sure, if you want to have a look, go ahead. Just because trained police officers couldn't find anything doesn't mean a rabbi can't. The building is 1407 Broadway, room 903.
Whenever that happens, you get a location, so that's good. Let's ask about her state of mind, so see how she's holding up, because it's a nice thing to do.
How are you holding up, Mrs Lauder?
Fine. As well as can be expected.
And now we need to ask about the company name, and I'll tell you why later, but it is important that you do find the name of the company out, so we're going to ask her.
What is the name of your business?
Charming Fashion Company.
Charming.
Yeah, it's a strange name, but it has meaning behind it. It's based on my family's name, Sharma, and it sounds like charming.
I get it. Real cute.
Okay, consult your notes. Charming. Exit. Okay, take your leave.
I'm going to leave now. I'll see what else I can discover.
Thanks, I guess.
Okay, so we're going to make our way to the Charming shop, so we can investigate and see if we can find any clues as to the murder. So let's go to the garment district, and there's not much in here that's any use apart from this computer in the corner, and you'll need to guess the password, of course. It's actually quite simple. If you remember, her family name was Sharma, and that's the password. So now you have access to a ledger. So, it's hard to read these. I can't really read them. I only know because I know the names. There are a few important ones on here. Look at the ones from Joe DeMarco. There was a lot of personal checks written out to a Joe DeMarco. I'm gonna throw that away. Sorry about that. Okay, hopefully that will blur out. But yes, there are a couple checks written to Joe DeMarco. And, yeah, it does that. I wonder who he is. Okay, well, Joe DeMarco, he's an important name, so it's important you make note of the different amounts of money paid to him. Beth Tikva sounds like a synagogue. Yeah. So that's probably where Jack was going to the synagogue, so it might be worth looking that up. That's another important clue. There are also some emails you need to look at, like the ones from Ethan G. So you'll want to look into a few different things. Ethan G. So basically, if you read through these emails, you'll basically see that they have an uncomfortable relationship. I'm not going to read through them, but basically the emails to JDM reveal something that's a bit not quite right. So let's look at connect. Oh, crap. We need to basically link two clues together. So we want to link JDM with Joe DeMarco. Yep. So we've now connected those two clues, and basically what we've seen there is that JDM or Joe DeMarco was an angel investor, but Ethan G said something wasn't quite right, and there's not something quite right about JDM, but yeah, so Ethan was probably their accountant, but we're not quite sure, and now we're going to go and consult Bitchface McWhiney Pants about this new evidence. Actually, I think first of all we will go to the Lower East Side and consult our Jewish terminal of superpower, so we can process this new information that we've acquired. And there's some stuff we need to find out, like we can look up the Beth Tikva as his synagogue, which we'll probably want to do, and consult the rabbi there, and we can get into some rabbi battles. I don't know if they exist, but that'd be awesome. So let's do a, first of all, search. Actually, there was one email I forgot to let go, which is an important one he sends to you that didn't send. So first of all, let's do a search for, what's it called? Ethan G. Okay, so we can't find an Ethan G. I think there's something else we need to do first before we can find that out. Beth Tikva. There we go. And we've now got an address for that. But there was one thing I forgot to see. It's an email that Jack Lauder has sent to us, but it didn't send. And it might shed a bit of light onto why he left us that money, so I should probably show you that email. So we'll click on the door. Then we've got 2 more locations to visit, and then we can speak to Mrs. Lauder. Although I think we'll go to her first, because the email doesn't really concern her. So we'll go and see Mrs. Lauder again, and ask her about Ethan G. So let's go to Greenwich Village. And as you saw on the map, we can also now go to the temple to speak to the rabbi, which is kind of cool. It's kind of nice. So let's see what we can ask her. Let's find out a bit about Joe
Mrs.
DeMarco.
Lauder.
Oh, it's you. Come on in.
Just barging into our house every 5 minutes. I need another thing! Consult your notes. Ethan G.
Do you know if your husband did any business with a man named Ethan?
Ethan. Ethan. The name sounds familiar, but I can't place it. I'm sorry. To be honest, I didn't really keep up with the business side of things. Is he involved?
Hard to say.
Joe's meeting.
Do you know anything about Ethan G meeting up with Joe DeMarco?
Ethan G? The name sounds very familiar, but I can't place it. I'm sorry.
Joe DeMarco.
Have you ever heard of the name Joe DeMarco?
Joe? Joe. Joe. Yes, I've heard of Joe. He was one of our first investors.
He invested in Charming?
Yes.
Why did you need an investor?
Well, we didn't have much money to start the business with. All the banks saw us as a poor risk, so we needed independent investors.
Have you ever met Joe?
Jack handled the money stuff, although I know Jack didn't like him.
Why not?
He didn't say, he just didn't like him, but we were desperate, so we had no choice.
How did they meet each other?
I think they were introduced. At the temple of all places.
At Temple? So Joe DeMarco is Jewish?
Maybe. Why?
DeMarco is not a very Jewish name.
And that's important to you, is it?
Not to me, no. But it's certainly significant.
Is Joe DeMarco Jewish indeed? Well, that's something we'll need to find out. Let's take our leave and we can head back to the computer and see if we can find out.
Discover.
Thanks. I guess.
And see if we can find out who exactly this mysterious Ethan G is. We know he's probably some kind of accountant. He's definitely been meeting with our murder victim. I am the rabbi detective. But yeah, there were some emails I forgot about because I'm a bit of a derp sometimes. Derp. Anyway, let's reevaluate the computer and reevaluate the situation. Reevaluate your soul. So yes, the following message, the message is as follows. So this message was incorrectly sent because of RavNet. Hello, Rabbi Stein. It's been a while. I hope I've got the correct email address. No doubt you're surprised to hear from me. I'm not sure why I'm writing this either. I often think about what you said. It still angers me, but I can understand your motives. You looked at us and said, nothing is worse than when Jews turn their backs on each other. I still remember your eyes. Sheer contempt. We were the worst sort of scum that ever crawled out of the ocean. I love my wife, Rabbi Stein. She is my partner in everything. I regret nothing. That is, except you. I hated you. For years I hated you. We both did. I joined another temple with a rabbi who was willing to marry us, and tried to forget about you. But when I found myself in trouble and in need of guidance, I could think of nowhere else to turn. You called me a traitor once. Do you still feel that way? I've seen traitors. I've seen Jews turn their backs on other Jews. It's not pretty. It's awful. I'm not like them. Time has cooled my hatred. Has that done the same to you? I need to speak to you. I feel like I'm 12 years old again, preparing for my bar mitzvah. I need help with my Torah portion. I know I didn't marry a Jewish girl, or even go to temple every week, or keep kosher, or do any of the many things that we're supposed to. But I always known that I was Jewish. Is that enough? I'm not a traitor, Rabbi. I've never forgotten that I'm Jewish. Jack Lauder. So yes, that is the reason why they hate, Jack Lauder hates you, because you refused to marry them, because, obviously he was Jewish and he was marrying an Indian woman, and that pissed you off, but that was a long time ago. And, yeah, there's that. Money transfer. Let's see. So these are the various messages that have been spent. There's the mysterious Ethan G. Let's take a look at the ledger. See if there are any other strange payments. None that we can see. There is still Goldberg. Hiding accounting firm. Goldberg and something. So if we think Ethan G is their accountant, then could it be possible that Ethan G is Goldberg? Ethan Goldberg? I don't know. Maybe I'll type it into the computer when we get there. But instead, let's visit the rabbi. Let's visit the rabbi. This is actually quite funny if you take a look at these. I couldn't steal the Torah from another man's synagogue. Besides, it was too heavy. Services must have just ended, as they hadn't got round to putting away the Torah yet.
I can't believe they're just leaving it here for anyone to come in and take it. They must have dozens of them in a back room somewhere.
So yes, basically the gist of this area is that it is much nicer than yours. So let's get into a rabbi fight. And what is a rabbi fight, I hear you ask? Well, that's a very good question. Let's get into a rabbi fight with our friend here.
Yes?
You're the chief rabbi here at Beth Tikva?
I do carry that honor. So, what can I do for you, Mr.
Rabbi, actually. Rabbi Stone.
Well, fancy that. I can always spare time for a fellow rabbi. What brings you to our humble synagogue?
I always love this. Basically, keep choosing the rabbinical approach. It's hilarious, because always answer a question with a question.
Do you know Mr. Jack Lauder?
Should I know Mr. Jack Lauder?
Rabbinical response.
Don't you think you should know Jack Lauder?
Why do you think so?
Wasn't he a member of your congregation?
Was he?
Don't you know your own congregation?
Am I expected to know everybody?
Well,
Amos broke out into an angelic smile.
Are you finished?
I guess.
Wonderful.
Oh dear. Honest response. Honest answer. I love the whole answering a question with a question. Rabbinical response. Anyway, honest answer.
He was a member of your congregation. He died a few days ago.
That's right. The funeral service was yesterday. I honestly don't know where my head is these days.
You conducted the ceremony?
Yes, his wife insisted on it.
Did she now?
If I may ask, what is your interest in Mr. Lauder?
Rabbinical reasons. No, yeah, actually, let's go with rabbinical reasons.
Aren't all matters of our flock our concern?
Well, not every matter, but still, we do what we can, don't we?
Let's see. Consult your notes. Let's ask about Ethan G.
Are you familiar with an Ethan G?
Ethan G? Is that his name?
Just an initial as far as I know.
Ah, well, nothing leaps to mind, I'm afraid.
Okay, well let's take our leave. Actually, first of all, Joe DeMarco. Let's see if he belongs to this congregation.
Does the name Joe DeMarco mean anything to you?
DiMarco?
Yes.
Sounds Italian. Other than that, it means nothing. Sorry.
So, let's go check out this Goldberg then. Let's leave.
Good night to you, Rabbi Zelig.
Good night to you, Rabbi Stein.
So we're gonna go back to the rabbi cave and consult our supercomputer, and hopefully process this information. Because I'm not sure. I don't know what to make of this Ethan G. Anyway. So yeah, this is a point-and-click adventure. It's a mystery. I'm enjoying it. The art style is nice. It's sort of got this watercolored pastel effects. The annoying thing is it doesn't really work in any widescreen resolutions. That's why you're getting the black bars, so I'm sorry about that, but it's the game, not me. It's not me, I swear! I swear, boss! But let's go and talk to the computer. So let's check out Goldberg. You always do this first, no? G-O-L-D... Berg. Is that it? Goldberg results in over 10,000 results. It's funny because it's a common name. Ethan Goldberg. Goldberg. So let's try that out. With a warm rush of triumph, I knew I found my man. Ethan Goldberg of Beth Tikva was found dead last night in Murray Hill at Paddy O'Hare's pub. Okay. So that gives us another set of clues that we can follow and investigate. But first of all, there's a connection you need to make. Goldberg. Alright, so it's already made the connection for us. There we go. So we now know who Ethan Goldberg is. I think the last thing we're going to do this episode is present Mrs Lauder with this evidence that we found and ask her who Ethan Goldberg is and confirm my suspicions that he is indeed their accountant, which must make him evil, of course. Every accountant is obviously a bad human being. But you can go to the pub, but that's not what we should be doing just yet. We need to make sure we speak with both the rabbi and Mrs Lauder first. I'm not sure if it matters what order, but I've never gone to the pub first. I've always gone to those two first. It might change things, I don't know. Maybe you go to the pub and get shot in the face.
Mrs Lauder.
Oh, it's you. Come on in.
Consult your notes. Goldberg.
Do you know an Ethan Goldberg?
Oh, Ethan Goldberg. Yeah, I know him.
Who is he?
An accountant. We used him to handle taxes and complicated documents for the business. Not full-time, just on a consultant basis. Wait, is he involved in this?
Not anymore. He's dead.
What? Since when?
About a week or two ago. Murdered.
My God! What is happening?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, so let's ask about Joe's meeting.
Do you know anything about Ethan G meeting up with Joe DeMarco?
I'm afraid not. If they met, I'm sure it had something to do with the business. Ethan was our accountant and Joe was our primary investor. Although I have no idea what they'd want to talk about.
So, as we can tell that,
I'm going to leave
Ethan
now.
obviously...
I'll see what else I can discover.
Thanks, I guess.
Ethan obviously doesn't trust, Joe DeMarco at all and is a bit suspicious about the investment. Does that mean we can place the blame on, Mr. Joe DeMarco? I don't know. Find out next time in the Shivah. I'm probably saying that wrong and offending so many people right now. I apologize if I am. I just find it an interesting game. It's very fun. I recommend it. It's on Desura. I'll see you next time.